Samsung, proud sponsor of TechBusters.
We're joined by Sal Laher, who's the Chief Information Officer for Eskom, a very important role in driving economy, because without electricity you don't have an economy. And driving economies is, of course, technology. And one of the most prominent technologies used today is SAP, and it's a global software giant. But applied in South Africa and driving this innovation in Africa is key. And Sal, thank you for joining us. You talk about this information, you talk about the different silos within that organization, but is South Africa truly left behind? Because I know you've got different organizations like AFSAC that's pushing this development into Africa.
Yes, I am the Chief Information Officer for Eskom, which is one of the largest IT internal departments in Africa, and I obviously look after that. But Eskom also is a very large SAP implementer. We're using the SAP software to drive a lot of our process automation across our company. And as a result, we have membership and we belong to AFSAC. AFSAC is the African SAP user group, and we look after the interest of the customers who make a very large investment with SAP in the software to ensure that we can get what we need out of that company to satisfy our business needs.
We know that Africa has got this incredible economic growth happening at the moment, and the one thing that I keep hearing at all these technology conferences, that companies need to be a technology company first before anything else. Whether you're selling groceries, electricity, the technology is what comes first. Are we applying this to African businesses?
Look, the two biggest things that have changed this world, Aki, has been the internet and the mobile phone. Two great things in the last 20 years. And this digital world we're living in means that boards and excos and businesses must embrace technology, and must embrace technology to automate business processes, because consumers out there are demanding. Consumers have changed the world. Look at the Arab Spring. That was done on social media to topple governments, you know. So this digital world means consumers want to do anything, anywhere, on any device. And businesses need to respond to that if they want to stay alive and realize that the demands of consumers are being driven that way. Now, we as CIOs need to realize it's not about playing with the IT. It's about helping our business grow. It's about growing the bottom line, the top line, and pushing product as quickly as I can based on the demographics of consumer. So we have to embrace this technology as much as we can. The user group is great in that perspective, and you spoke to education as one of your key questions, is that what the user group does, it creates 16 special interest groups as part of AFSAC. So the AFSAC board's there to govern it. So what do we use the membership money for? We create these special interest groups throughout the year. And for example, we have a special interest group on human capital. It's a great module in SAP, but that now means all of the HR practitioners in all companies can get together in the special interest group and share things. They could share things like, hey, have you heard? SARS has just issued a new note that SARS are demanding this on the IRP5. How are we going to achieve that? Then put pressure on SAP to respond to that demographic, which is unique if SARS in Africa within the product to meet it. But apart from that, they educate themselves because they learn from each other. How have you done that? How have you done it? Oh, we've just done that. They get specialists to come over from SAP to come and talk to them about where the human capital module is, and they get early notification of the roadmap of the product and integration. So the special interest groups really educates the business, not just the IT guys, because it's the business that is predominantly represented about the SAP product.
Sal, we know and we often hear that Africa as a continent, 60% of people in Africa don't have access to electricity. Eskom as a giant and as driving this process forward, we've got South Africa electrified to a large degree, but how are we assisting other utilities on the continent to make sure that the rest of Africa has electricity as well?
Since 1994 to now, we at Eskom are very proud. We've almost now given electricity to 4.5, if not more, million people that used to not have electricity. All right, and we continue on that journey. We are still not there. At least now in South Africa, almost 90 to 95% of people enjoy electricity. They need to enjoy electricity, clean water, and all the basics that you and I need to eradicate poverty and everything else. Our aim is still to push that constantly to the 100% in South Africa. But we realize we're a continent, and we belong to a continent. And just a week or so ago at a utility conference, Our Group Executive for Transmission, Mongezi Netsekolo, made a statement about how Eskom is working with all of the other countries and utilities to build the transmission network through the whole spine of Africa so that we can deliver electricity and help those countries to deliver electricity to all their rural areas and to people who don't have it today. It's a fundamental part of our corporate plan.
Thank you for joining us, Sal.